Hello and welcome to this Yu-Gi-Oh! Discussion video. We're taking a look at Floodgate Trap Hole. Let's take a better picture here with the Japanese card known as, was it something Pitfall? Bottomless Pitfall? I think it was. Something like that. Anyway, we're going to discuss this card, which will be coming out in the Dark Illusion on August 5th in the TCG. It's been out in the OCG for a little bit. I don't think I've ever heard of this card because I don't often take a look at too many cards that aren't out in TCG yet, or I just forgot about this card's existence. I don't know. Either way, let us take a look at its effect. Let's do it like this. When your opponent summons a monster, change that monster to face down defense position. Monsters change to face down defense position, but this effect cannot change their battle positions. That reminds me of a Mirror Force card. I think it's Quaking Mirror Force that does that. Forces them into face down defense? Yep. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, change all attack position monster your opponent controls to face down defense. Monsters change face down defense cannot change the battle positions, if changed by this effect. This one doesn't necessarily have to be monsters in attack position, because monsters can be summoned in defense position. Like a summon in a set, in some cases they're treated as the same, sometimes they're not. In this case it's not, because like a set will not count, but the summon in defense is possible through a special summon, let's say fusion via polymerization, or a pendulum summon. Speaking of pendulum summon, it says monster with an S in brackets, monster or monsters. That means if the opponent summons multiple monsters at the same time, let's say 3 monsters through a pendulum summon, then Floodgate Trap Hole is still able to be activated. And because in the resolution part it says change that monsters, once again, the S between brackets, change that monster or monsters to face down defense position. Therefore, it can activate when multiple monsters are summoned, and all of those monsters are affected by Floodgate Trap Hole's effect. So all 3 of, let's say, the Clifforts they summon, or what are the pendulum things? They summon, I don't know, with 2 Draco ruler things in a Performable something that's level 4. They summon that and want to like utilise with it, or like do some synchros, whatever they play they want to make, or just rush with everything. Either way, they're all in face down defense position. So most of their effects will be unable to apply. They can't use them for utilise or synchro material, because for that all monsters need to be face up, or at least the monster used for it. Like they can't attack obviously because they're in defense, and you can't flip them face up either. You wouldn't be able to do that turn anyway, because you've summoned them that turn. During the turn a card is summoned, the player that summoned it cannot manually change the battle position. They have to wait until the following turn. But even then, let's say one of the monsters survives as a set monster, they still can't be changed, because monsters change the face down defense position, but this effect cannot change their battle positions. Just at all. So this can really keep monsters there, maybe even block off monster zones that the opponent wants to use for combo pieces that they're unable to if the monster are left on the field, because it's just a lingering effect from Floodgate Trap Hole that leaves them like that. So as long as they stay in face and defense position, nothing can be changed. I think, although I'd have to check the rulings to be sure, that if they're flipped face up, through a sort of revealing light, or a monster with lower attack than their defense attacking into them, then they might be able to do that. Monsters change face down defense position by this effect. The monsters still change the face down defense position by this effect. So, and the effect doesn't continue saying while it is in face down defense position. So you might not still be able to do that. So the rulings aren't out yet, so we'd have to wait for the TCG release to be completely sure about that. I'm not entirely sure. I think they mean that they can change it face up. However, if we go by exact card text, and especially lately, I can expect the cards to have exact card text because of all the updates and like explanations they've done for like the skill drain, which has had multiple new errata, and now saying effects can still be activated because they can. Just the effect is negated. They can still be activated. They've put explanations or clarifications like that on many cards, so I think that it would have been a Floodgate Trap Hole. Would it have been possible to change it when they are face up again? So even if face up, I think, or changed through whatever, I think Floodgate still will be will still make them unable to change battle position. But we'll have to wait for the rulings to see that. I can see it definitely being useful just to stop, as I said, pendulums. Especially with 3 months at once, you can stop some big plays. A big, like a ritual summon of, let's say, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. You can do this, although no, Chaos Max can't be targeted or destroyed. I think they can be affected by Floodgate. So in that case, no, it would work with Floodgate. Any other really big summons that you wanna get rid of? Quasar obviously can negate this, but if you chain it with something else, then they can't, as they can only stop one thing per turn. Other big Xyz ones. Let's say the opponent summons a Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, which can take out your strongest monster. You're like, nope, not happening. You flip over your Floodgate Trapple. You can stop with that. Quite a few situations where Floodgate Trapple can be useful getting rid of the opponent's cards. Bottomless Trapple, I still think, is better than this guy because it completely gets rid of it and it banishes them. This still forces you to get rid of the monsters if you want to direct attack or do something like that. And the monsters can still go to the graveyard or extra deck in case of pendulums, or graveyard in case of non-pendulums, and in graveyard they can be revived quite easily via Call of the Haunted, things like that, or activate graveyard effects if they are things like Burning Abyss and Shaddoll. So Bottomless, I feel, is still the better Trapple, although Floodgate, I feel, can be sort of like a Floodgate card. Can be used in quite a few different situations to block some really good plays that the opponent intends to play. It doesn't look like... Oh, there are tips and trivia, although I don't think there'll be a lot yet. Let's see. Can be searched by that. Use the code Traptrix Reflex. Yeah, it can be used with the Traptrix, obviously, because it's a Trapple card. Let's remind ourselves what Reflecia does. Oh yeah, obviously Reflecia is the Xyz monster you can use from the deck. We've well in a Ghost Trick deck aiming to lock down their opponent. Yeah, because Ghost Tricks use a lot of effects that have monsters in face and defense position themselves, but also the opponents. The scope works well with cards effect and inflict piercing damage. Indeed, Foot Pappy Operative. High speed can damage. Yeah. I didn't think of that. I'm surprised by that. Use the scope when your opponent Pendulum Summons. I already said that. It could be really nice way to stop opponent's plays. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention that. I did think of that before. This is a goblin-ish thing. I wanted to say Hitotsumi Giant, but that thing... Wait, Hitotsumi Giant does have 2 eyes, doesn't it? Or does it have 1? No, it has 1 because it's Cyclops. Anyway. Such an evil-looking Moki. They're always so cute and maybe cuddly and in their own world, and this thing looks so evil. Like it set the pitfall for that thing. I know the goblins or Hitotsumi Giant are generally sent to the trap holes, but it was Moki after all that did it? Wow. That is quite serious, Moki. We've learned a new side from you. It was very... Wait. The Moki is in all the other ones? That's not a Moki. No, I think it's just Moki and the goblin that appears in all the other cards. I think that's it, because Moki doesn't appear in Bottomless either. No, just the goblin. Moki doesn't appear. Azara continues the event of DD Trap Hole. Wow, is that a Moki? Yeah, that could be a Moki, actually. Yeah. Okay. Far improved Trapple version of Quaking Mirror Force. Hey! I got that one. Woo! Okay, that was the discussion video on Floodgate Trap Hole. Let me know if you can think of any specific decks or strategies that can use this deck. So, outside of this just being a Floodgate card that you could have at one or a few copies in your deck. Are there specific decks or strategies that you can come up with that would use this card? Do you think you'll be using it in any decks? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in tomorrow's Daily Yu-Gi video. Oh, by the way, if there's any cards you'd like to see me discuss, leave suggestions in the comments. I'll be taking some of the comments into consideration for the next one. See ya!